did you begin? I know a little bit in the sense that you've always been singing for longer than you can remember. You've been playing the piano for a long time, since you were a little girl. Tell us about your beginnings as a musician and your training and things like that.
Yeah, I come from two musicians, and so I think when I got to the Planet, I was already kind of set in that path. Yeah. That's been the very natural trajectory of my life, my entire life. Yeah. I started studying piano when I was 3 or 4 years old. I used to play for my mom's voice lessons. I knew I was a singer. I didn't really start to find my voice until I really got to college. But I had always been studying music, and it had always been sort of a kind of a passive, just a part of our everyday lives. There was a point in my life where I thought everyone has at least one parent that's a musician, surely. You know. But when I got to
thought
Berklee,
everybody else.
I did. I thought, I mean, everybody sang, everybody did stuff, and in our family, everybody did music, and even in our wider sort of family, you go to church and you sing. And my aunt was a music teacher, and my dad's people are musicians, and so it did not occur to me that everybody didn't have at least one professional musician in their family.
That's fun.
So yeah, when I got to Berklee, I realized like, oh, what I have is different somehow. And I didn't realize it because I realized it, but people told me that. Yeah.
Right. And you're Dr. Hathaway, right? From Berklee?
Yes.
Yes. Berklee honored you with an honorary doctorate degree. Do you ever go by Dr. Hathaway these days?
I do on Twitter.
Do you?
I don't even know if that exists anymore. Twitter, it's called something else now.
Isn't it X?
It's X now.
Yes.
But I'm Dr. Hathaway on the X platform.
Okay.
Some people call me that, and it's so funny. I don't relate to the title, but I recognize that I have a lot of knowledge about what it is that I do. And if they say what's true is that you spend 10,000 hours and you're an expert at a thing, then I am a super duper expert at a thing.
Yes, right. Which is why we wanted to hear from you today. I mean, you've given us so much wisdom, and I hope that you absorb that title of Dr. Hathaway more and more, because you've certainly earned that. And so you went to Berklee and you spent a lot of time in Boston. I just will share personally, I am a huge Boston fan.
Oh, me too.
My wife and I got married in Boston,
wonderful.
And we go back to Boston whenever we can. I've done a few things at Berklee, love Berklee. You have a song called Boston, which is just hits right in the core there.
I played it the other night in Boston.
Really?
Yeah,
and
I was
I'm
just
sure
there.
They loved it.
Yeah, it's so nice to play. I haven't done it in so long. Yeah. I moved right before the quarantine, so I don't have a piano, and my Rhodes is getting repaired, so I haven't even really played, but it went really well.
Okay, great. So I'm just curious, this is just personally for me, like, tell us about your love for Boston, your heart for Boston.
Yeah. You know, when I got to Boston, first of all, my mother wanted me to go to Howard, which is where my parents met. I wanted to go to Berklee because I felt like I wanted to study music, but I didn't want to be stuck in classical music, because that was not my thing. I wanted to be a jazz singer. I wanted to listen to jazz. I wanted to learn jazz. And Berklee afforded me so many opportunities to meet so many people from all over the world that taught me so much. Not only the professors and the instructors, but the students. I learned from kids from everywhere: Israel, Japan, Bosnia. There are kids from everywhere at Berklee, and it's such a great, Boston is indeed like a great environment just for students generally speaking. So many colleges. And it was a town that I loved. It represented freedom to me. It represents learning. I just spent like the most kind of really formative years of my life. So many records that I hold so near and dear I got while I was there. Some of my friends that are still my friends I got while I was there. And so I think everybody has that kind of college time. You know, that your life at that point where you just kind of made the leap, and that's what Boston was for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And your grandfather attended, was it Boston University?
University, yeah.
Did that influence the decision at all?
No, I mean, he was happy that I went to Boston because he loved Boston, my mom's family.
Yeah.
But I was just so happy to be there. It's such a great, you know, I'm from Chicago, and so Boston is a great city town.
Yeah.
There's nice walking,
Absolutely.
and there's stuff to do, and there's so much culture, and there's so many students. And that song really came out of having to move to Los Angeles when I left Berkeley. And I did not want to move to Los Angeles. I said, okay, I'm going to be here 2 years max, and then I'm out of here. And now 30-some years later, I'm still there.
Okay.
But the song, I had that title for the longest time, and I had the, you know, I have left my heart in Boston. I had that line for months. And then one day I just wrote the whole song, and I was really missing all of my friends that had moved to New York and were playing jazz and hanging out in the Village. And I used to see Boston on TV, and I would just weep. I missed it so bad.
Yeah. But you've also sung alongside Prince, Stevie Wonder, Snoop, Dr. Dre, etc., etc. What is that like? I mean, is it just, you know, these are musicians too?